Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside to Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, the beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
On first down, it's Stafford. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit him with a screen soon.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. And now the offense for Detroit.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That's taken on the 25. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A gain of 3, second down. Quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
From just shy of midfield, Allen, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He completes it to Jones. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
First down, Bill. Let's go. Cut it left. 4 down, 4 down.
On first down, Allen rolling to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Throwing again on second down, Allen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Allen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now this is picked up by the Bills. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. He's coming. Double up.
On second down now. It's Reed. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Stafford finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He'll return it from the 6. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Allen now on first down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah. Exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact and he'll go deep.
Allen's throw is complete. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to be going.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Crawford. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Third and long. It's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reed. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Hey, Haywood!
Here's Allen. Flush to his right. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. 21-0 our score after 1. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Fielded at about the 28. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
51, 19! 51! Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go. Here we go.
Allen to throw once more. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Check 24. Check 24.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Now Allen to throw. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A good pickup of 6 there on first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Stafford, catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Stafford now to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bud Dupree tracks him down away in the backfield for a loss of 16.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, the intended target, T.J. Hockenson. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen, that's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my good.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. Right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks so much. We'll get back to you and Charles in Detroit in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what's following our two games later today. Good games all over the screen there, one being at MetLife Stadium. A big one for the Jets as they'll square off against the Miami Dolphins. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Oakland Raiders. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week on Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. And what's the call here?
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on first down. To the air, Allen. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And here's Allen to throw again. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bills to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Escaping the pressure right. Got a man, it's Brown. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
On 1st down, Madison. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions' 29. Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. And he's brought down after a very nice game. 25 yards there on the catch and run. From the 50, Stafford. And the pressure pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop. And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. Oh, some strong running. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they bring in an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Mike 51.
Check. Monday.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And it's 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Elliott good on the extra point.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A 1st down there on a pickup at 25.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
A 49-yard attempt.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st down, Madison. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At their 49-yard.
They'll keep it on the ground. Madison. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll run on 1st down. Madison. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Allen now on 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might well go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Here's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game, and privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hawkinson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Out of the gun, Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Crawford. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Got his target, Samuel. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Hunt. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. The tackle made there by Jarrad Davis.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.